Hey guys, it's Aiko. I'm an American English pronunciation coach and business coach based in Hawaii. Okay, so we have a special guest today, William Hung. He was a guest speaker at a Toastmasters meeting. That was like 2 weeks ago, or that was like last week.
Yes.
And I asked him if he's interested in coming on my show to talk about some English pronunciation and trying new things. So, William, thank you very much for coming to my show.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. So I'm pretty sure like a lot of people know about you, but would you please tell us a little bit about what you do?
Well, I was a former entertainer back in 2004. I auditioned for American Idol with my favorite song, Ricky Martin's She Bangs. But it didn't work out the way that I expected because when I sang, I had a very strong accent. My dance moves were kind of jerky, like samba exercises, not my proudest moment. And then after Simon said, "You can't sing, you can't dance, what are you gonna say?" I said, "I already gave my best. I have no regrets at all." I said that because that's how I felt, not because it's some fancy script that I made in advance. It's just that in life, if you felt that you gave your best, there's no reason to get angry or upset. It's okay to just move forward.
Wow, thank you very much for your nice introduction. I actually watched that show, and I really like that line that you said I already did my best. Yeah, wow. So I'm pretty sure that moment changed you a lot, or maybe you changed already, so you were able to be on TV. But I want to ask you some questions about like pronunciation and also English.
Yep.
So I noticed that you moved to the US when you were like little, right? Like
Yeah, 10 years old. Yeah.
10 years old. So how was your English that time?
My English wasn't good. I only knew how to say like hello, how are you, ordering food, but that's about it. It took me about 3 years to get through the English as a second language. And even then, I wouldn't say that English has been my strong suit.
So for 3 years, how did you practice your English?
I just watched a lot of cartoons back then. I remember I loved like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Japanese culture phenomenons. But you know, at the same time, I got better because you know when you watch a lot in terms of how they speak, like even though it's like English like voice acting, like with the Ash Ketchum, gotta catch them all. You know, you still learn like when you listen and then you apply, you communicate in real life.
Wow. So what was the most challenging part for you when it comes to learning or acquiring English or pronunciation?
Yeah, I would say I had like a speech therapist back in middle school. She told me my biggest problems were my TH and my V. Because of the way my teeth is structured. So I had to like really watch it to make sure I'm not saying a different word than I intend to. So TH, she told me like I need to go thumb, thank you, or the V is like Virginia. Like make sure I bite my lip a little bit and then say the word.
Wow, that's actually, I mean, my audience is Japanese speakers who want to speak English well. improve their English pronunciation. So
Yes.
TH and V are
Yes.
so difficult. Would you would you give us like a little tip to be able to pronounce TH better or easier?
I would say just be conscious in terms of when you say the words with TH in it. And then what I typically do is I would bite my you see my lip and my teeth. I bite it just a little bit before I say the word. Think. I'm actually sorry. That's V. So V would be like born, right? So, but the TH would be think. Let me see. Dank. A dang. A tongue. Three tongue attack.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, that's really difficult because I still tend to pronounce TH as D.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the same problem. Yeah.
Especially in Hawaii, like, TH becomes T and D, so I tend to pronounce TH as T and D, and then, I need, definitely I need to be conscious about it. So thank you. So I want to go into like accent portion because I was so afraid of my own thick Japanese accent. I was embarrassed of it before. So I'm wondering if, what do you think of your accent?
I think my accent is fine. It's not a barrier for me to get my message across. So I just need to slow down the pace of how fast I speak. Because when people listen to me, one of the most common feedback that I get is that I speak too fast.
Yeah, thank you. And then you are a motivational speaker in the US, so I'm pretty sure you get invited as a guest speaker. And have you had any experience of where you were conscious about your accent on stage? I get really nervous. When I get nervous, I'm aware of my accent more. For some reason, my Japanese accent comes out more strongly when I'm nervous. And I'm wondering if you have experienced the similar moment.
I don't get nervous over my accent, but I do get nervous whether I articulate every word I say.
Wow, so you have like a really different mindset towards accents. Because for me, I'm trying to get over this fear of that, like having an accent is not a good thing, because I had a hard time communicating with American people in the US. And I thought that, I don't like my accent, stuff like that. So I really practiced hard to get rid of my accent because I didn't like it. So it feels like you have different mindset where you kind of accept your accent and it's okay to have it.
Yes.
Is that the mindset you have?
Yes, because to me, like that's what makes it endearing. In other words, people actually appreciate and like me for who I am with my own unique accent. So of course, not everybody's gonna like you, but when people get used to listening to you and the way you talk, you actually don't want to suddenly change into something completely different.
Wow, this is amazing. So what kind of message do you have for people who are afraid of their accents?
Don't be afraid of accent. Your accent can be what makes you unique when you communicate whatever content you want to create. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's coaching, business, life, finance, gaming. It doesn't matter. It makes you who you are, and that's very important. Focus more on articulating, because I've heard many speakers with many different accents. If you you might think Japanese accent is challenging. I heard Indian accent being very challenging because I've taken classes back in college, and then some of the professors, unfortunately, they have great content to share, right? I have a lot to learn, but unfortunately, sometimes the way they speak is like they are mumbling. It's very hard for me to follow. So if you have that problem. And I used to have a different kind of problem. Like I said, I speak too fast, so I sound like a rapid fire cannon whenever I talk. So that's why I learned to slow down. Whatever it is, right? You just want to make sure you get your message across.
I love it. It just focus on the message, like what do you want to tell your audience. So in terms of your learning, English learning or pronunciation learning or any getting into American culture.
Yep.
Have you had any breakthrough in terms of the language acquisition and cultural difference?
I would say the breakthroughs I made were when I was pretty young. I already accepted the American cultural values because the opposite is the Asian cultural values. It's because as you might know, since you're Japanese, Chinese is similar. We have a tendency to not communicate the message directly. We don't want to hurt the other person's feelings. We care about saving face, being graceful. And I would say that that's still an important skill. I would say that we want to be tactful, we want to be caring in terms of how we communicate the message, but it's not so much of like accent or pronunciation. It's more like we should always be caring. For example, let's say I heard somebody's speech, I don't like it, I don't enjoy it. Instead of just trashing the other person, saying, "Oh my God, this was the worst speech I ever heard." That's not very productive. That's like Simon Cowell back in the old days from American Idol. Maybe instead of saying that, maybe we can be more productive by saying, "Well, here's what I like about your speech. You're very genuine. You had right," and then you can say, "Well, but I would like to hear more about this." You could. Like, for example, this morning, before I hop onto the call with you, I listened to the speeches by President Obama and Michelle Obama. That's to motivate me. and I would say, the best thing I like about them is that they are very real. They communicate the real the difficulty, the challenge of the situation. That's like the way they come across. It's like if you could connect with them. So I would so if I were to give criticism to a specific speech, maybe I'll say if you could make your speech less about you, but make the speech more about the audience pain points and feelings, you will come across more effective.
Wow, thank you very much. So you grew up in California.
Uh-huh.
So I see that you said you went to UC Berkeley.
Yes.
I went to UCLA, so there are so many different people from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
So we understand the culture that you went through.
Uh-huh.
I grew up in Japan and came to the US when I was 23.
Oh.
So it was very difficult for me to get into the culture. So I will watch this interview again, and then I will take memo, and I will apply your message into my life. So I'm pretty sure the audience can take a lot of messages from this interview. So I really appreciate that you came to this show.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So how and where can listeners find you if they want to connect with you?
Sure. One of the easiest ways is to go to my website, williamhung.co. So it's .co. And then I'm actually hosting the next free masterclass on how to embrace uncertainty with the communication during this pandemic. It will be next Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. So you can go to my website, williamhung.co. You can sign up, and then I'll give you more information that way. Other ways you can stay in touch with me, I am on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram.
Wow, thank you. So next Sunday, which day?
It will be August 30th.
August 30th. Okay, great. I am sure a lot of people will be interested in it because it's about how to deal with uncertainty in this crazy time. So
Yeah. So one of the key lessons I learned, because we talk about communication, I would say that instead of worrying about people don't like you or shame, it's okay to just share your passion and the direction you're going. It's okay to let people know that you're still searching. For me, I'm still searching. I wouldn't say that I've got my life figured out, everything is perfect. No, it's way far from that. But what I'm doing is I'm trying different things. I'm going on different virtual speaking events. I'm doing gaming. I'm negotiating other opportunities. And that's okay. It's okay to share that with people. But let people know about your journey, and then people will support you.
wow, thank you very much. So I'm gonna put all the information in my description box so the listeners can find your information here. So welcome, William. Thank you very much for coming to the show today.
You're welcome.